Represent the values that you stand for. God, Family, and Guns merchandise is now in the link below. Welcome to a series called The End of Times, where we're going through the book of Revelation, verse by verse, to see what it is we can expect to happen in the end times. And as we've gone through the book of Revelation, we've come to a place where we've spent multiple episodes talking about the beast and the harlot that rides the beast. I'm just going to go back and watch those. We're not going to get into what that is. But what we do know about the beast, well, many things, because again, we spent many episodes on it. But one of the things is that the 10 horns represent 10 kings who have received no kingdom yet, but they are of one mind, and they give their authority to the beast. So we're just going to pick it up right there where we left off, Revelation 17, starting verse 12. The 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings who have received no kingdom as yet, but they receive authority for 1 hour as kings with the beast. These are of one mind, and they will give their power and authority to the beast. These will make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb will overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And those who are with him are called chosen and faithful. On the last episode, we addressed 3 wars. Because there are 3 wars, there's 2 of them brought up in these verses. One of which is the war against the Lamb, against the beast and his system and the Lamb. So we're going to talk about that one today specifically because this particular war is given in great detail in Zechariah. So we're going to go to Zechariah. We have talked briefly about this in the section on the wine press, and I'll put the link to that video below. This isn't really much of a war. They make war with him, with the Lamb, but it ends pretty quick. So we're just going to pick it up in Zechariah 14, where Jesus sets his feet on the Mount of Olives. Zechariah 14, verse 1. Behold, the day of the Lord is coming, and your spoil will be divided in your midst. For I will gather all the nations to battle against Jerusalem. The city shall be taken, the houses rifled, the women ravished. Half of the city shall go into captivity, but the remnant of the people shall not be cut off from the city. And this is what the war begins. The 3.5 years tribulation begins with this assault on Jerusalem. All right, so we'll keep going. 3. Then the Lord will go forth and fight against those nations as he fights in the day of battle. And in that day, his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, which faces Jerusalem on the east. The Mount of Olives shall be split in 2 from east to west, making a very large valley. So it's a 1-day war. So on that day, on the day of that battle, this is how it all plays out. He sets his feet on the Mount of Olives, and the mountain literally splits into 2, making a valley moving east to west. Pick it up at 5. Then you shall flee through my mountain valley, for the mountain valley shall reach to Azal. Yes, you shall flee as you fled from the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah. And we talked about that earthquake in another episode. Thus the Lord my God will come and all the saints with you. This is very significant because we will be with him. And it shall come to pass in that day that there will be no light. The lights will diminish. It shall be 1 day, which is known to the Lord, neither day nor night. But at evening time it shall happen that it will be light. Now, ultimately, what he's saying is that there's darkness that comes. There's this over 45 days of darkness, and we've talked about that in other episodes too. But what he's saying is that when he shows up, that's when the light comes back. All right, pick it up at 8. And in that day it shall be that living waters shall flow from Jerusalem, half of them towards the eastern sea, and half of them towards the western sea. In both summer and winter it shall occur. The Lord shall be king over all the earth. In that day it shall be, the Lord is one, and his name one. All the land shall be turned into the plain of Geba and Rimmon, south of Jerusalem. Jerusalem shall be raised up and inhabited in her place from Benjamin's gate to the place of the first gate and the corner gate, and from the tower of Haneel to the king's wine presses. The people shall dwell, and no longer shall there be utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. And here's how it all plays out with the war. And this shall be the plague with which the Lord will strike all the people who fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall dissolve while they stand on their feet. Their eyes shall dissolve in their sockets, and their tongue shall dissolve in their mouths. It shall come to pass in that day that a great panic from the Lord will be among them. Everyone will seize the hand of the neighbor and raise the hand against his neighbor's hand. Judah also will fight at Jerusalem. And the wealth of the surrounding nations shall be gathered together, gold, silver, and apparel in great abundance. Such also shall be the plague on the horse and the mule, and on the camel and the donkey, and on the cattle that will be in those camps. So shall this plague be. Now, other parts of the Bible refer to this as the winepress of the wrath of God. But in other words, they're just dissolved. They dissolve into blood. And it says that that valley in between Jerusalem and the Mount of Olives, Jehoshaphat's valley, shall be filled up to the horse's bridle with blood. So let's go back and read what we read. The 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings who have received no kingdom as yet, but they receive authority for 1 hour as kings with the beast. These are of one mind, and they will give their power and authority to the beast. These will make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb will overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and those who are with him are called chosen and faithful. So it's 3 wars, like we said in the last episode. Those who have besieged Jerusalem, this is where Jesus Christ will reign from. That's obviously where he's going. And so this is not a pretty day for anybody that raised a hand against Jerusalem. Or against the remnant of Jesus Christ. So again, hope these videos are helping. Any comments, put them below. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. Feel called to support this channel with Patreon. That link is also below. The most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests, so never hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.